I will say this, and I think it'll surprise people. The fact that his bond...
Hold on. Sir.
What's
I have to stop you with the camera because I can see you. So do me a favor. Don't pull it out again.
And The View, you don't need to find Trumpers. You need to fire your race baiters.
Yeah.
You need to fire the two races. You've had people. You had a McCain on there. You've had people on there before, and you ran them off. Mm-hmm. So the racist ones who want to stick to this, Whoopi and Sonny, and was it Bette Midler? What's her name? Yeah, broke-ass Bette Midler.
Tyrus just pulled off the unthinkable. He went after The View and stirred up instant chaos. Even Whoopi Goldberg couldn't escape what he said. Picture a powerhouse stepping into a polished tea party, cups shaking, mouths open, everything in shock. The energy shifted fast into surprise, laughter, and a bit of madness. You won't believe the line he dropped or how Whoopi's stunned expression revealed everything. Get your popcorn, because this moment wasn't just wild. It was comedy wrapped in pure scandal. Did Tyrus just hit The View with one knockout line no one saw coming?
Just remember, too, the Iranians literally throw gay people off of buildings. They don't adhere to basic human rights.
Listen, here's the thing. Let's not do that, because if we start with that, we have been known in this country to tie gay folks to the car.
Where the Iranian regime is today in 2025 is nothing compared to the United States.
Hanging black people. So
it is not even the same. I couldn't step during this.
Tyrus, the weird thing about The View was that Dylan Mulvaney was the most feminine person there.
Yes, he was. Somebody.
If you're enjoying this takedown, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It started like any normal morning on The View. 5 voices fighting for attention, coffee cups trembling as if they knew trouble was on the way. Whoopi sat there with the look of someone who's witnessed every TV meltdown ever created twice over. You could almost feel the tension before the cameras even switched on. Then came Tyrus. Not in person, but his words crashed into that studio like a truth bomb erupting in a space filled with pride, drama, and delicate egos.
But it's only in America. Can a black person sit on a TV show getting paid millions and millions of dollars to have the floor and can say, it can interrupt people because she interrupted her.
Yeah.
And if according to her, life was like in Iran, it was for black people, her interrupting and speaking in public would have led to a stoning.
Yeah.
Like the ignorance, you live in a country where you might feel a certain way, but here's the one thing about America that makes it different than anyone else. You have an opportunity, even as dumb as the
He didn't shout, didn't make a scene. Tyrus did exactly what he's known for. With cool, steady control, he pulled apart the chaos like it was just another simple task on his list. Every line carried that effortless, I've seen everything confidence. And that's exactly what unsettled The View. When Tyrus speaks, he isn't chasing drama. He reshapes it so completely that the drama ends up chasing him. It was quiet destruction. Sharp, smooth, and downright stunning.
Hire them and bring people in. Maybe you could get McCain to come back. She was a Republican, but every show and every break, she was nearly in tears because she was being attacked. So the problem is that you have to go after the racist people. And if the CEO goes, you know what? I'm not going to allow a woman on my show or man that will go after white America and talk about them like dogs. That doesn't represent our ideals or values for anyone. And get rid of those people, and this will clear up real quick. So do you have to actually look in the mirror and clean up your own backyard and get the racist people out? Because that's who you allowed in. You allowed black racist on TV who could just go all day and say anything on.
And The View, they jumped on him like a bad idea that refuses to disappear. That show has turned chaos into its own art style. Interruptions, contradictions, and those dramatic breaking news moments that never actually break anything. Every episode feels less like a conversation and more like an emotional cage match. WWE energy, but with coffee cups and no logic anywhere in sight. It's loud, it's chaotic, and it's the same wild, predictable spectacle every single time.
She has an opportunity tomorrow. They won't fire her over that.
No.
She'll have an opportunity tomorrow to come on and fix it. Will she? She won't. But that's the thing about this country. Black, white, gay, straight, short, tall. Everyone's going to get hit with something, but the beauty about this country is there's always an opportunity for you to better yourself. So shame on you, Whoopi. Play the black card somewhere else because the don't work here in America.
You know the irony?
And then there's Whoopi, the bold referee in this whirlwind of chaos. She stays calm until anyone dares to challenge her. Then that calm breaks apart, and suddenly it's Category 5 judgment happening live on air. That signature glare, yes, the one everyone recognizes, can quiet a room faster than the lights going out. It's powerful, iconic, and pure Whoopi energy, unleashed at full strength.
And I guess lo and behold, they forgot that there's a lot of people at home, white people at home during the day that are not watching your show anymore. So just clean it up.
Yeah, you know, Emily, could you imagine yourself on The View as like taking that job? Let's say they find something really ugly in your past, you get fired from Fox. That could happen, by the way. No. I never burned those photos. But I mean, could you do that?
I get very sensitive.
Tyrus saw right through the act. With that steady heavyweight smirk, he called it out, like someone who already knows the whole script before the first line is spoken. He pointed out how The View can preach unity in one moment, then split the room faster than a jump to commercial. It was sharp, bold, and loaded with truth. The kind of reality check no one on that stage expected.
Sure. All that, and the price of butter. Sonny gets the game ball. If it wasn't for her, asking that question, it might have been a...
The real brilliance was in how he delivered it. No shouting, no dramatic gestures, just razor-sharp humor and truth presented with absolute precision. While The View's panel acted like guardians of modern insight, Tyrus treated their seriousness like a comedy sketch falling apart. He leaned back, figuratively, and dropped, "Really? This is what counts as conversation now?" The irony was perfect. The View insists it's the voice of reason, yet each episode unravels like a group chat that's gone completely off the rails. When Tyrus broke down the chaos, it wasn't only funny, it was revealing. He compared their dynamic to people who claim they welcome debate, but only if everyone agrees. You know the type. They call it a discussion until someone offers a different view, and suddenly it's dangerous talk. Tyrus didn't need volume. His calm delivery carried more force than a megaphone. That's exactly why shows like The View struggle with him. He won't play into the act, doesn't chase applause, and his honesty creates chaos simply by being straightforward. People joke that Tyrus stirred up more reaction with one quiet line than a whole season of their loud back and forth. And as for Whoopi, she wasn't exactly amused. But really, how do you guilt trip someone who's completely unaffected by nonsense?
I love... Whoopi's right. I mean, it's been rough for us. I mean, you saw what just happened to me in the last segment. I'm trying to talk, and all the white people are like, "Oh, it's Tyrus. I can make a phone call." You know? And it's...
How did that make you feel?
I felt very black.
Did
Greg.
you feel black?
Yeah,
It's worth Tyrus. Malice just started snapping
By the way,
his fingers for you.
thank God black people don't do that in audiences.
Yes, yeah. No, we just talk the whole time and tell you how to do your show better.
Tyrus carried that steady, seasoned confidence of someone who's seen every trick in the playbook and refuses to get pulled into televised chaos. It was as if he silently said, "You can't cancel me. I walked out of the circus already." And that pushed Whoopi over the edge. Her expression revealed everything. Part authority, part disbelief. Like someone repeating the same speech for years and still stunned no one buys it. But the real brilliance was in his control. No yelling, no mockery, just sharp, precise honesty. He treated their seriousness like a balloon waiting for a pin, and with one small gesture, pop, the whole thing deflated. He pointed out how The View can spend half an hour arguing over topics that barely matter, all while pretending it's world-changing discussion. It's like watching philosophers at brunch, except instead of Aristotle, they're quoting trending posts. The longer he talked, the clearer it became. This wasn't petty. It was a spotlight on the echo chamber hiding behind words like empowerment and justice. Whoopi naturally took it to heart. How could she not? In that moment, Tyrus wasn't targeting her. He was defining The View itself, a show where the loudest voice mistakes volume for wisdom. And yet Tyrus, calm as someone sitting through a storm, didn't react. He simply smiled, metaphorically, and reminded everyone that real confidence doesn't need a crowd to prove it carries the most weight.
Oh, nothing really comes to mind. I was like, cha-ching. Listen, they're bitter, they're angry, they're entitled. They also should be. This should have been a reset for everyone who pushed lies and misinformation for the last. They call them Hitler. They call these things. America rejected them, and instead of coming back and saying we lied, they instead are now doubling down. So let her keep doing it, because if she keeps that up, we're going to keep getting the Senate and probably the House and the White House, because people see right through your lies. So keep doing what you're doing. Game ball to Sonny.
The internet exploded. Some insisted Tyrus pushed things too far, while others practically crowned him a hero for saying what most people only whisper. But the best part, The View ended up proving his point, live and completely unplanned. The very next day, the panel slid straight into victim mode, turning unfair criticism into its own performance. They twisted their reasoning so much it practically tied itself into a knot, calling their chaos structured conversation. It was like watching someone claim their cat could run for mayor. Funny, but totally off course. Tyrus knew exactly what he was doing. He dropped his words like breadcrumbs and let their reactions deliver the punchlines. While Whoopi tried to hold that classic "we don't owe anyone anything" expression, the internet wasn't fooled at all. Every glare, every contradiction, every dramatic sigh was replayed, turned into memes, and broken down frame by frame. That's the irony of The View. They love delivering truth, but fall apart the moment it's directed at them. Tyrus reminded everyone that real confidence doesn't need applause. It stands firm on its own. He exposed their version of tolerance, where agreement equals acceptance and disagreement equals exile. And that's why his calm roast landed harder than any shouting match ever could.
Next, Joy's gonna say she's never heard of carbs. Seriously, her denial of knowing me is as believable as her red hair. But obsession? I mean, come on, Joy. Where would you even get that idea? Like Joy Behar's face, it's looking worse and worse by the day. More full of crap than Joy Behar after a night of scotch and Taco Bell. Her being named Joy is like me being named ugly. Joy wasn't there on the show. Apparently Mondays are her.
You could practically feel the collective gasp as the truth settled in. Maybe, just maybe, the Emperor wasn't wearing anything after all. Whoopi's reaction was pure cinema. That long sigh, the slow head tilt, and her trademark "here we go again" expression that carried silent judgment. But behind that steady face? Frustration, clear as daylight. For once, someone had called them out, and done it with more composure than they were prepared to face. The brilliance of Tyrus's roast was in the restraint. He didn't chase attention, he let the truth do the heavy lifting. Every quiet remark landed like thunder, accurate, strong, and impossible to brush aside. Suddenly those confident monologues wavered, and their laughter sounded just a bit too rehearsed. Tyrus pulled off the unthinkable. He made The View seem small without ever raising his voice. With his classic dry humor, he joked that the show's greatest accomplishment was turning daytime TV into jury duty, an endless assignment disguised as conversation. And the best part, he never even dropped names, because everyone already knew who he meant. That's when honesty cuts the sharpest, when pretending not to see it isn't an option anymore. Moments later, the internet lit up, pairing Whoopi's eye rolls with Tyrus's calm, knowing smirk. Television history in real time.
Now to some news. The feral monsters of The View say they've never heard of you-know-who. True, the show that makes mornings hell claim that my name doesn't ring a bell. It's time for...
Our view on The View. Ugh.
Yeah, the witch's coven finally shows me some lovin'. Yesterday on The View, yours truly was the subject of conversation. Apparently, the broads have no idea who I am, or so they say. Hit it, Gladys.
The contrast was almost poetic, like a raging storm colliding with a mountain that simply refused to move. Even people who never watched The View started tuning in, pulled in by the chaotic spectacle happening in real time. That's when you know a roast truly hits. When it boosts the show, it exposes, just not in the way they wanted. By the end of the week, it wasn't even about Tyrus anymore. It was about what he uncovered. The rehearsed outrage, the tangled contradictions, the "we represent everyone" attitude that always forgets half the viewers. He didn't steal their spotlight, he turned it into a mirror, and The View couldn't stand what they saw. Whoopi tried to hold her calm, balancing control and irritation, but her voice slipped. It was obvious he had struck a nerve. nerve. Tyrus reminded them that real conversation doesn't need cue cards or dramatic sighs. Sometimes it just takes one honest voice saying, "You sound ridiculous." The real mic drop came when he summed up their whole act with effortless ease, calling The View exactly what it is, a caffeine-powered cycle of contradictions wrapped in moral superiority. Whoopi's silence said everything. She didn't have to respond, because the stillness that followed landed louder than any defense she could offer. It became one of those rare TV moments where someone outside the bubble broke it wide open, and everyone inside pretended nothing cracked.
Jesse was a 7.
Joy Behar calls her a 10. I mean, how dare she objectify a woman with a sexist rating system, but it's such a typical thing from a 1.5.
That's what makes Tyrus's calm so powerful. It forces everyone to pause, listen, and face the truth whether they want to or not. The View tried to act like nothing happened, doing what they do best, pretending they're untouched while the world watches the cracks spread. But this time, the illusion broke, the charm faded, and beneath all the talk of empowerment and enlightenment, there was nothing left but noise. Tyrus moved through their storm like someone walking through light rain, untouched, steady, and unstoppable, showing that real strength never needs to raise its voice. His roast wasn't harsh, it was clear, precise honesty, and deep down, Whoopi recognized it. Somewhere in the middle of it all, Tyrus had quietly taken apart her empire with the ease of someone too composed to even acknowledge the win. That's what made the ending perfect. No cheering, no applause, just silence. The kind that echoes louder than any standing ovation. In the grand comedy of daytime TV, the sharpest punchline is often the one that leaves everyone speechless. And Tyrus didn't have to add another word. He simply let the truth stay in the air, his calm smirk lingering in the chaos he left behind.
It doesn't matter whether you're a comedian or just a regular old person who goes about their day. You have every right. It's your birthright as an American. If you're not happy with what's going on, you're allowed to say it. If you don't like how things are going, you're allowed to say it. It is your birthright. That's part of what makes you an American. It's part of what makes us different than everybody else. And we acknowledged all of those Republicans who recognized that it's not a right or left.
They just couldn't let it go. The View always needs the last word, even when it's the wrong one. So right on schedule, the next episode opened with that practiced calm they use right before the chaos breaks loose. You know the look, tight smiles, mugs held a little too high, all while pretending they didn't spend the whole night rereading Tyrus's comments in disbelief. Whoopi began with her signature dramatic pause, the one she uses right before she educates someone. Except this time, nobody asked for a lesson. They tossed out vague lines about certain commentators and some people out there, as if anyone didn't already know exactly who shook their nerves. That's when you know Tyrus got into their heads, when the entire panel starts talking in code. Meanwhile, Tyrus was likely somewhere enjoying his coffee, completely unbothered by the storm he sparked on daytime TV. The more they pretended to rise above it, the funnier it became, the louder they claimed they didn't care. The more obvious it was that they absolutely did. The View slipped into its own parody. 5 voices loudly declaring calm, while spending 10 full minutes proving the complete opposite.
Here's Joy Behar talking about refusing to share a kidney.
I find it friends bizarre. With a Trump supporter. I won't give them a kidney, but I could be friends with them.
Hey, Joy, it's a kidney, not a pizza. Of course, she's kidding at first, but then she goes on to explain the moral foundation for her resentment, and it's the same one that drives all deadly ideology.
Tyrus would have enjoyed every minute of it, not because it proved him right, but because it let his entire point unfold on live TV for everyone to witness. The View can't let anything fade quietly. It feeds on conflict the way toddlers crave attention. Loud, messy, and impossible to ignore. You could see Whoopi preparing for one of her classic "I've seen everything" speeches, but even she looked worn out this time. Maybe she finally realized you can't outsmart someone who uses humor instead of anger. That battle ends before it begins. Then came the real turning point. Tyrus hadn't taken down The View by attacking it. He'd unraveled it simply by staying calm. By the end of the week, the panel tried acting like the whole situation was beneath them, but you can't unring a bell, and you can't forget the truth once it's been spoken. Every time they mentioned respectful dialogue, all anyone could picture was Tyrus's quiet roast still echoing in the background. Their biggest mistake wasn't responding, it was proving his entire point while insisting they weren't. They became the punchline of a joke they didn't even realize they were in, and Tyrus, still calm, still steady, still unmatched in the art of the effortless takedown, because sometimes the loudest sound in the room is the silence that stays after the truth finally settles.